Good morning, this is Jack from the AutoShop.net, and this is a pre-market recording for Tuesday, the 24th of August. Our disclaimer, we do this for educational purposes only. We're here to share our technical analysis with you. We hope you can take some of what we're doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. We're not here to issue trading signals. Right, sorry about the slightly late start this morning. I was taking my youngest son to get vaccinated. Just took, the queue was longer than I expected. Anyway, where are we on the indices? We've gone up, we've made the higher high, we are testing resistance, and we have a sell signal fixed on the 60-minute ES and NQ and YM and ESTX. We have, in fact, a lot of sell signals. So are we topping out here? Yes. Am I hoping we'll make an AM high before we start a larger retracement? Yes. Have we formed a potential double top here that on a sustained break below the monthly pivot could get us back into the 4200 area? Yes. So waiting to see how this develops, but at the moment this is developing very well. We've made it back to resistance. We could go a little higher, and I'll be talking more about that on the bigger picture charts, but right now this is looking pretty good, and the short-term rising wedge has broken down. NQ has made a higher high as well. Does this look like a double top? Not really, no. So it's gone a bit too high for that. 60-minute sell signal is fixed as well, and looking down. RTY is one reason I'm thinking that we may make an IM high today. We don't have any negative divergence there yet, and we could easily guess it by backtesting the monthly pivot again. And I'm thinking we may well do that, so we'll see. YM, we've got a sell signal here. Looks like it's topping out. It's not that far away from a retest of this high. Might still see it. We'll see. DAX and ESTX. DAX might be rolling over. ESTX looks as though it is rolling over. Neither of those made a retest the high. They don't need to, but we might go a little higher into those. Let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Now, ES. Now we've got a variety of support trend lines and resistance trend lines here. This is the one on ES, and this is the larger version of the one that I'm showing on. It's a slightly different one, but this is the main one really from the March low. Have we hit resistance yet? No. Did we get pretty close to it yesterday? Yes. Maybe another 5 points higher if to reach that trend line. We will see. On the daily chart, we are back at the daily upper band, pretty much hit yesterday, and we are back also at resistance. Let's have a better look at that resistance trend line, which we've pretty much touched exactly. We could go a little higher within it. Obviously it's a big trend line over a long time. We did reach the sort of shorter term trend line too. So that's a nice hit. We haven't actually reached the support trend line. The main ones I'm watching are that March one on ES, and where we have a very nice wedge, and the bigger one from the March 2020 low. All right, NDX. NDX has gone higher, hasn't made it to resistance, doesn't need to, but if we did make it to resistance, that would be in about 15,500 area. No divergence here yet on the RTH charts. The signals are all on the futures charts. So if we're going to get those on the hourly charts, we're going to need to retest these short-term highs. On the daily chart on IWM, obviously not a huge amount happening. Nice move up yesterday, and we're back to the daily middle band, which is obviously possible resistance. We're also testing the 50 DMA. So we will, 50 moving average here. So we will see how that goes. On Dow, no daily sell signals, of course. On the hourly charts, we could easily set up an RSI 5 sell signal. Could we retest the high? Yes. Is there a compelling need to? Not really, no. We may be forming a right shoulder on a head and shoulders here. So it could fall from here and it would have a decent pattern already. We will see. So waiting to see what happens today. But we're back at resistance. We're testing the same resistance that we failed at repeatedly again. And chances are, I think, we're going to fail. There's always a chance we'll break up, but the chances are we're going to fail. And I think that is the message of these sell signals here. I'm looking for a retest of the overnight high, ideally. That would be in the 92 area, 44.92 area. And that would be a good area to go back and retest, make a small higher high, and then come down from there. And I think there's a pretty good chance we're going to do exactly that. If we just fail from here, that's going to be less good on the RTH sell signals, but yeah, we could do that. And looking at these, we may have rolled over already. So we will see. Okay, looking at DX. DX, I've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing here, and we've broken the rising support trend line. Do we have a possible head and shoulders here, which is formed and just broken down? Yes, but of course, that still gives us the option of rejecting back into the high. We will see. ZB. CB, the sell signal reached the possible near miss target. Looks like a bull flag. Chances are it's a bull flag. CL, this has gone a bit higher, broken the declining resistance, and I'm just going to check whether we've got a channel there. Hang on a second. We've got a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing here. We may well be looking at a significant retracement. NG is broken up over the declining resistance, and I am thinking we're probably heading up. We're still on a weak 60-minute sell signal. We've got a potential level top here. Could come back and retest this low. But I have to say, overall, it's leaning bullish after that. GC is trying to get through the monthly pivot. That was pretty good resistance yesterday. It's trying to get through it now. We do have a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing here, so I'm watching for a potential reversal. SI is pretty much back up to this prior high. It hasn't quite made it yet, should make it. Now we've got a little bit of negative divergence here, but it's all been all but killed off so far on this overnight move. We'll see. HG, we have a possible IHS here, which is breaking up with a target at about 4.53 area. Could that make target? Yes, I think it very much could. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. We may well see some retracement first, and we could see a rejection back, which would take us back into the lows. If we were to see that rejection, that would be on a break below this right shoulder low, currently which is about the 4.19 area. USD. USD, possible weak 6-minute sell signal brewing. Actually, that's not true. We've got one fixed already. May or may not play out. No obvious reversal pattern here, really. GBP USD is consolidating over the weekly pivot at the moment. We do have a 60-minute sell signal fixed, so I'm watching to see what happens with that. USD JPY, 60-minute sell signal fixed and heading down at some speed. USD CAD. Possible head and shoulders, right shoulder forming. It's not a great pattern, and we do have a 60-minute buy signal fixed. So really, I'm looking for a possible rally on the dollar here today. It's Australian dollar, nice rally off the low, made the buy signal target, possible sell signal brewing. NZUSD, no current negative divergence, reached a possible IHS neckline, could see a right shoulder retracement into a back test of the weekly pivot here. KC is back over the monthly pivot and weekly pivot. Still forming a large flag. I'm not reading too much into it. We've seen no break either way. Normally, this would break into at least a retest of this low as and when it is ready. SB, possible, well, head and shoulders broken down. Possible larger head and shoulders may form when we reach that target, which we haven't yet. Backtesting the weekly pivot at the moment. CC, we were pretty close to a buy signal. I just went a little high for my taste on the peak in between. Now, this could well be a double bottom here. We could be rejected and on the point of rejecting back up into the high. ZW has broken over the likely flag resistance. We could be forming a head, shoulders, right shoulder, though. If so, that would have an ideal right shoulder high in about the 752 area. Corn hasn't broken up yet, but is testing the flag resistance. The 60-minute buy signal has fixed. Soy, we've got no signal here because this was a higher low. Backtesting the weekly pivot at the moment, kind of looks like a bear flag forming. Cotton. All right, we'll have to leave it there, I think, for the time being, because I haven't got those charts saved yet, and it's doing its thing where it loses the trend lines. Okay, what questions we got today, guys? All right, what I'm looking for here, currently it's not speaking to me on the IB thing, but what I'm looking for here is a retest of the high, ideally. After that, we'll have negative divergence on the 60-minute charts, and we could fall directly. I think we're about to make a turn here. We're back at resistance. This resistance has held repeatedly, and I think chances are it looks as though it's going to hold here again. We've set up some nice reversal patterns here. We could go considerably lower this time than we went last time. And I think it might be a time to break out the knuckle dusters and see if we can get down to 4,200. So we will see how that goes. I'm liking the setup here. I would love to see that from an AM high just because that would provide a nice short entry. So we will see. All right, cheers guys. My pleasure as always. Have everything posted as soon as possible. I'll catch you later.
All right, Lewis, I trust you. I'm dead. Speaker of stage, please don't kill anyone.